Hey, Mike here with silverbackweb.com. Today we're going to talk about Google Guaranteed or local service ads. What are they? Why you should use them, and how to start with setting them up and getting them optimized. And of course, at the end of this video, I want to give you some hot tips on how you can optimize your ads to make them show up even more regularly. So we're going to talk about the what, why, how, and of course the bonus. So what are Google local service ads? The difference between Google local service ads and Google pay-per-click ads is that Google local services ads are pay-per-lead. So you're paying for lead basically via Google call tracking versus pay-per-clicks. And they're at the very, very top. You have direct contact with the customers, and these are very simple and consistent ads. Let me show you what they look like. So this is the Google Guaranteed ads here. And you'll see that you can click here to do more roofers in the area, and there will show me all the ones that are paying for Google local service ads. So at the top here is local service ads or Google Guaranteed, and then we start the ads, and then of course we start the maps. So I personally think that all contractors should be in all of those places. You should have some really good local SEO so that you're showing up in that map pack. And if you're not, contact Silverback, we can help. And then you want to do pay-per-click ads because they're at the top. And the benefit of pay-per-click ads is that you have more control. You can change the ad copy, you can run specials, you can do split tests, A/B split tests. You can do different things with different words and pictures so that you can try to pull in and get customers to come, take them to a landing page in which you want to convert them. With Google local services ads, you get just this. It's just the name of the business, the stars, and then they click to call. In fact, nowadays I'm noticing they're actually looking more like this without the little squares. So here's the roofers in Lake St. Louis, here's a Google Guaranteed badge, says the name of the business, says the stars, shows you how many names, and then you click here to message, click there to call. Google's using a call tracking number to record that call to determine whether or not it's a lead or if it is spam. So they're simple, they're clean, they're at the top. There's a benefit to using them, but you don't have a lot of control as to how you can try to attract people. You just pay for the lead if you get it. So that's the what. That's the what. Why would a contractor want to use Google local service ads? Well, obviously, if you're at the top, you're going to increase visibility. You're going to be at the toppest, most bestest place on the Google search engine results page. It's also could be cost effective because you're only paying for qualified leads. It could increase your ROI. A caveat to that, however, is that you are going to get less leads from that top bar than you would clicks from the Google pay-per-click ads. So again, I think you should be running both. If you're running both, you're going to get more leads, but you could increase your ROI for Google local services because you can contest any leads that you get that you were charged for that you thought were spam or weren't actually leads. Finally, you get to target those leads just like Google pay-per-clicks. You can choose the areas, and we'll look at that in a second. But most important reason why anyone would want to do Google Guaranteed is because it gives you that trust and credibility. That green badge tells the world that you are trusted by Google, and therefore they can trust you as well. The bottom line is that Google Guaranteed means that Google is guaranteeing you. And the way that they can guarantee you is that you're going to have to go through some hoops to prove to Google that you're a verified business by having the right insurance, the right license, the right background checks, and all of that. Once you go through that process and get this check mark, then your ads can start showing. Of course, you have to pay, put in your credit card so that Google can charge you every time you get a phone call. So that's why you would want to use them. The next thing is how, and this is the most scary part because there are a lot of hoops to jump through. So I want to walk you through a couple of steps. The first step is how to set it up. Just from square one, log in, set up. Then I want to talk about how to manage and optimize and actually use the system so that you can get credit for spam and not leads, and that you can make the most of your account. So let's look at, first of all, how to set it up. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to log in. So just go to Google and do a search for local service ads. Simple as that. Local service ads, the thing that you'll see at the top is ads.google.com. Click on that, and they're going to ask you to log in. You'll want to log in with your Google My Business account or your Google Business profile. So if you have a Google Maps account, you will want to log in with that email address. So and it should already happen that way, right? If you're getting directed to a sign-in page from Google, Google's going to ask you to sign in. It should say, is this you? Is this the email you want to use? And you say yes, and then put in your password. you want to log in with your Google. Because the Google business profile is somewhat attached to your Google local service ads, why would it not be? So once you do that, you're going to complete your profile by putting in some business addresses. But in order to do that, you're going to first have to see if you're eligible. So the first screen that you see is the eligibility. So you'll put in your state and your zip code, and then you're going to choose your local service that you offer. Are you an electrician? Do you offer fencing? Look, you can even do financial planning, first aid, flooring, foundation. So you're going to choose your specific service. If you choose a service that isn't available in your city for local service ads, Google will tell you something like, unfortunately, local service ads are not available at this time in your region. But for the most part, if you're in the United States, pretty much everything that's on this list is eligible in your state. Once you put in that, you'll be advanced to the next screen where you're going to put in your business details. Let me just walk through this real quick. What is your official business name? And you'll want to use the official business name. If you have a fictitious name or a DBA, you can put that in, but please make sure you have that DBA form or that fictitious name form. And then you'll put in your business phone number. This is the number that will ring when leads call, so you want to make sure it's the number that people answer. It says website optional. You don't have to put your website in because they're not going to a landing page or anything, but I would still put it in because it gives Google context of who you are. And then you can select messaging preferences when you receive leads. And of course, I would check everything. You don't want to miss a lead. Then you want to put in the owner's first name and last name. And then there's a question here, total number of field workers, the year founded, and then all of these, basic information. Make sure that you actually put the year that you were founded here, because as I showed you earlier, Google will show you that in the ad. So it says the business name, the stars, and then how many years in business, So you want to make sure that you put when you were founded so that that shows up. Now, there's something I wanted to mention here about total number of field workers. If you click on this question mark, it'll pop up and say a field worker is anyone at your business who works with your customers firsthand. Depending on your industry, you would count professionals who do inspections, provide estimates, or things like that. I would put as least as possible on here. And the reason why is because every single one of them are going to have to do a background check. In other words, Google is saying how many people are entering into people's homes. How many employees do you have that enter into people's homes? And for every employee that you have that enters into someone's home, we need to give them a background check. Don't think that the more employees you have that you put in here, it makes you look bigger and better. It's not true. You just want to put, it's just going to be a headache for you. Just put as minimum as possible there. All right, the next thing that Google will ask you is what's your service area? And this is great. Just like Google pay-per-click ads, you get to now choose the areas that you serve, and you can even put in some areas here that are negative that you don't want to serve. So that's very nice. Once you've chosen that, hit next. You'll go to the next screen, and it's going to ask you, as a foundation repair guy, what services do you provide and what services do you not provide? So check the ones that you do. Yes, we do this. Yes, we do this. But no, we don't do steel pier piling, so I'm not going to check that one. You'll put the I agree button. And what are you agreeing? You're agreeing that you have a license to do these things, because in the next screen, you're going to be asked to share that license. So once you hit the next button, you'll be provided with the last screen that you'll get for the setup. So far the setup's been rather painless, although there's a couple of tricky questions that you want to make sure you answer in the best way. But now we get to the hours. So here's a question. What hours should you put? Well, it says here, add the days and times that you're open. And so if you have a storefront and people come to your location, enter the hours that's available for customers. So if you're a local service provider, you're going to their home. So then the question is when are you open? And here's a caveat. Google will only show your ads during the window that you say that you're open. So if you say you're open 9 to 5, then your ads for local service ads at the very top there are only going to run from 9 to 5. Another benefit of pay-per-click ads is you can make them run all night long. You can do whatever you want with those. But with Google local service ads, they're only showing ads when you're open. Now, a temptation for many contractors is to say, we're open 24/7. We're open 24/7. So they just put that on there. But that will hurt you, because in the end, if people are calling you at 7 or at 8 or at 9 and no one's around to answer the phone, then that message will get dropped off. And Google is tracking all of this and notices that you're not picking up the phone, you're not responding to calls quick enough, and therefore they're going to downgrade, if you will, hurt your account so that your ads are now way down at the bottom of these local service ads, and you'll never get found, and you'll think that Google LSA is a waste of money and time. My suggestion is, if you're not open 24 hours and you're not answering the phone 24 hours, then don't say 24 hours. You only want to say your hours that you're actually going to answer the phone. Because as we'll talk about later, your response time is key to optimizing these ads so that you can get more leads in the future. Now, you could put 24 hours and you could have a virtual assistant or someone who's answering the phone, a phone service that's answering the phone 24 hours. Or you could use our Gorilla Leads app that we use here at Silverback. It's an app on your phone that when people call, it automatically sends a missed call text back. So if someone calls you and you don't answer, it automatically sends a text saying, hey, how can I help? And that is going to also count as you returned the call, you got back to the customer quickly within 10 minutes. And not only 10 minutes, but within seconds, because of the app does it automatically for you. You can use something like that and increase your visibility by saying 24/7 because you've got a call service or an app that does that for you. All right, once you have chosen your hours, you get this last slide. It says preview your ad. I was setting up a test account for this video, so test business, how many stars, years in business, open, etc. And then you'll click I agree to the onboarding terms and hit next. Now, the next and last step is the most intimidating one. It is the one where you've got to provide proof of insurance and license, and you've got to do a background check. So here it says proof of insurance, and you'll hit the submit button. Now, every business is different. Obviously, if you're an electrician, you're going to also have to provide proof of your licenses and things like that. Plumbers, etc., need special license. Probably a foundation guy doesn't need a license, but he does need insurance. So you're going to need to upload documents. So just go through here, make sure that you have good, solid, scans of these documents that are not blurry, because if not, Google's just going to ask you to resubmit them, and it can be a real pain. So just make sure you've got good quality PDFs on your computer to upload those. All right, the very last step, and it is the most intimidating step, is to do an official background check. So Google is going to use a third party to do a good background check. You'll click on this Go to Evident button. You'll be asked to put in your email address. You'll get an email with a link. You'll use the link to log in to Evident to do an official background check. When you do this background check, they're going to ask for specific documents. They're going to want to have a picture of your driver's license. They're going to want to have a picture of your business identification. They're going to want to see this code. They're going to want all of this stuff. Now, it's going to be intimidating, but you have to do it, because think about it. Google is saying they guarantee you as a business owner and as a business to people. So if people say, hey, look, I clicked on Google Guarantee and I got this mass murderer came into my house. Google's not going to guarantee that, obviously, so they want to do a background check. You're going to need to send those proofs of business license, and they're also going to require a proof of the owner's driver's license or photo ID. So you're just going to use your phone and take a picture. Do it in horizontal like you would with a check, and take a picture. Make sure all four corners are in the picture, but it's a good, tight, clear picture of the front and the back, and upload it. Trust me, make your life easier, because you're going to need to do this like every year. So I would just keep a file on your folder in your computer. So every year when you're required to upload new insurance or new documents or to verify again, and sometimes Google makes you re-verify because sometimes they just do. If you have this all on your computer, it makes it a lot easier. Google pay-per-click ads are doing the same thing lately, and so it's just a good idea to have all that stuff in a file somewhere. Now, if you make it past the Google background check, you will receive an email saying, congratulations, you're in. And then you'll be invited to log back into your account. You'll log in, and at that point, you can put in your credit card and your budget, and you can tell Google, these are how many leads I want, etc. Once you do that, now the next question is, how do we manage this account? Yay, we got set up. That was, still wiping the sweat off my brow on that one. Now that I'm in, what do I do? And so let me walk you through what the dashboard looks like and what you should do there on a monthly basis. So you want to monitor the performance always, right? Always monitoring performance. And then you want to dispute fake or spam leads so you don't get charged for leads that weren't really leads. So this is what the dashboard looks like. Let me just walk you down real quickly. You've got your business verification. Again, this is something that will be required maybe once a year, so you'll get notifications there. Here's your leads right here. So these leads are going to show up. Click here, you'll get a list of all the phone numbers that have called you, and you can drill down into each lead, policies, etc., reports. This is the page we're looking at now. The reports tells you how many leads you got, how much you were charged, what does it look like, what's the average impressions, etc. You also have a place here where you can read the reviews that you received and even request reviews. We'll dive into that in a little bit And then also you can just change your budget or change your profile. That would be like if you decide that you don't want to offer a specific service that you checked before, or if you want to start adding that service, you can just go back in there and change all of that. So that's what the dashboard looks like. So you'll want to monitor your performance just to see if you can make any improvements in those areas. But most importantly, each month you'll want to make sure that you're not getting charged for leads that were basically spam. Here's the secret. If you are doing any kind of marketing, other marketers are recognizing that you're doing that marketing, and they're going to attack you with ads to try to get you to pay them to do your marketing. So when you start showing up in Google local service ads, there are marketing companies that are targeting people who are doing local service ads, and they're thinking to themselves, this is a business who's spending money to get more leads. I am going to send them emails so that I can tell them to hire me to get them more leads, and you'll get a ton of spam. I don't need to tell you this, you probably already know it. Happens. I get so much spam every single day, and so it's very frustrating. So you will get spam, and you do not want to be charged for that spam. So let me show you how to contest or dispute what you think is a spam. So you'll go into your dashboard and you'll drill down into the leads. Click on the leads. It'll show you a list of all the phone numbers that contacted you, and then you can click on each phone number and drill down into that phone number. So it will tell you this is a potential customer, here's their phone number, and then this is what happened. You could use this kind of as a CRM where you could put in that customer's name and email and any notes that you had from the conversation. And if you actually booked this, go ahead and mark it as booked. Why? Because you're reminding yourself and telling Google, yes, this was a good lead. You're communicating with Google, and that's a good thing. This is a good lead. Click on Mark Book. Sometimes it'll say right over here, was not charged, because Google knew that it wasn't a real lead. And so they say you weren't charged for it. So you can just click the archive button and hide it so it's not showing up and cluttering up your leads. But if it's a lead that you know, this guy calls me all the time and all he's trying to do is sell me crap, then you would click on the shish kebab menu here, drop down, there's one option, dispute, click the dispute. Google makes it pretty darn easy here. They're going to give you, why are you disputing? And here's four just like if you're returning something on Amazon, why are you returning it? Didn't approve purchase, box was broken, whatever. Google will say, why are you disputing? Say, it wasn't a lead, it was spam. Google will then say, okay, we will investigate and we'll see if this is a lead or not. And obviously what they're going to do is listen to that conversation or follow through the history of the conversation you've had with this customer, quote unquote, and they'll see if you actually called them and you actually had a conversation with them, or if they were just spam and trying to sell you something. And if so, they'll say, congratulations, we've credited your account for next month, and you'll get a credit for next month. You have to do this every 30 days. So if you get a lead in February 29th, and then you try to get credited for that on March 31st, if there is such a date, I don't know. If you do that, you won't not get credited. So you want to make sure you do it every 30. You only have 30 days to dispute any leads. In some ways, if you're paying a marketing agency like Silverback to do this for you, you can actually probably pay for the service that they provide, because you will save the money on the leads that they're doing regularly rather than the ones that you forget to do each month. So how do you manage your account? You want to monitor the performance to make sure you're not losing anything or missing anything. And then lastly, you want to dispute any fake or spammy leads. Now, I want to offer you kind of a bonus. And the bonus is, how do you optimize your Google local service listing so that you show up more regularly? If there are only 3 showing up at the top of the Google, and then you're over here, right? 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7, you're not actually showing, there's actually a second or third page of the GLSA ads. And so how do you get there at the top? Then I want to give you some tips and tricks on how you can do that. The first thing you want to do is you want to respond to your leads as quickly as possible. Prompt response to incoming leads is the biggest ROI for your optimization points, right? So you want to respond quickly. If a person calls you, you want to answer the phone. That's the quickest way to respond. If you don't answer your phone, then you want to text them or call them right back within 10 minutes, I would say. Google is monitoring this, and it sees how quickly people respond. So what's Google thinking? What business are we going to guarantee? We're going to guarantee the business that when customers call, they answer the phone. When customers call, they answer the phone. When customers call, they answer the phone. And if they don't answer the phone, they call them right back. We all have heard stories about contractors who don't get back to their customers, and not only that, who don't get back to their leads. They've got actual leads, fish on the hook that they're not pulling in because they're too busy. So if you're just responding and answering the phone, you're doing better than most businesses, and Google will see that, and that will get you closer to the top. So the most important thing is to respond or to answer that phone. Now you can also use the Google app. So Google has a Google Local Service app. This is what the icon looks like. You can download it from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And it's super simple. It's just in your pocket. You open it up, it shows you the lead. You can call them back right from there. You can follow through, you can make notes. It is a simple tool. If you use apps, you like to use it on the go, it's so easy. I like the app. The app is good. So you want to respond and you want to get back to these leads quickly. The quicker, the better. Number 2 is you want to get more reviews. The more reviews you have, the better. Remember, when you see this ad on Google, it says, here's the Google guaranteed, this is the name of the company. The very next thing it shows you is the star rating and how many reviews they have. You can bet your right bottom dollar that customers are clicking on the ones that have more reviews, right? This is how we do it. The more reviews, the better. So you're going to need to get tons of reviews in order to beat your competition. And you can do that from within the app as well. So if you go over here to reviews, click right there on reviews, you'll be shown a list of all your clients, your most recent clients here, or leads. Here's their phone number. It tells you what exactly they were looking for if you said that you actually did the work. And then you can click this button right here to ask for a review. It tells you that you got 19 here, but there's 8 that you can ask for. So click here and ask for that review. Then you'll just put in the client's email address, or if they already have the phone number on file, they might send a text saying, can you leave a review? Here's the big idea. Again, Google's tracking all this stuff, right? Someone calls you, you answer the phone, you do business, you afterwards ask for a review, they leave you a review, and you get a review. You do this a bunch of times, right? Ask for a review, get a review. Ask for a review, get a review. Ask for a review, get a review. The more that happens, Google is monitoring all this, and they're saying this is a business that communicates with their customers and of course does good work and gets reviews. Your business will continue to grow and you will get higher and higher and higher on this Google guaranteed list. So you want to respond to leads quickly and get reviews. So that is how you treat customers before they become a lead, and then actually after you do business with them. Google's monitoring this, and it just makes sense for you to do the best you can in that regards. The last real good optimization tip is to optimize your Google business profile. Your Google business listing is somewhat connected to your Google local service ads account. So obviously this is the business that Google's showing, and this is your Google business listing, so they are related. So you want to optimize that, and you have an opportunity to optimize your Google business listing by adding words and pictures and services and products and lots of things. And if you'd like to learn more about setting up or optimizing your Google business listing profile, we've got tons of videos on our YouTube channel talking about optimizing Google business profile. Now, the last step would be, I just invite you to come back to silverbackweb.com, go to the blog post entitled The Ultimate Guide to Local Service Ads, because Google local service ads will inevitably change. And as it changes and as we learn new things, we'll continue to update our blog post on our website. That's a free resource for you, so just go check that out. All right, so there you have it. There is our ultimate guide to Google local service ads. If you would like us at Silverback to set that up for you and to manage those, we have programs that you can sign up for. Just go over to the link in the description, silverbackweb.com. Try to book a call with us. We can see if it's a good fit for us to work together. Also, before you leave, do all the things that people ask you to do, like, subscribe, whatever, share the video. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I will see you in our next video.